from the champ, David. He was on the back foot. He lost the grand final, but it's reset, and he successfully has hit the reset button.
Yeah, that's what great champions do. All of us here today, but this is where he needs to move through the gears and bring his best.
He cannot afford to lose in this game with the white pieces against Alireza Firouzja, and I can't believe we're talking about Magnus like this. Magnus losing with white, but look at him. He does not seem to be the confident Magnus that has won so many world championship titles in all time controls. So he trots out the Trompovsky, this bishop on g5. It can take on f6 at some moment, but for Alireza, he is locked in. He is ready, and why should he be scared? He just took down Magnus Carlsen. Why not do it a second time in just a day?
Yeah, he did it in a 4-game match. He's young, he's full of energy. Can he do it in a 2-game match now? And this is a cousin of the London system. The white bishop moved to a different square, different ingredients, but similar pawn chain for Magnus Carlsen. This was the game he won, where he set up this triangle of pawns for white. He later pushed a pawn to f4. Will we see that happen again? Firouzja, spending a little bit more time than his opponent at these early stages, trades off a set of pawns. But what next? Black's light squared bishop come out. Who do you think is going to be the happier at this early stage, Robert?
Well, I think that both sides are sort of feeling the other out. It is a new match. We just saw Alireza Firouzja take down Magnus Carlsen, but you have to forget about that if you're Firouzja too. It's not like you have a lead. You're starting from zeros. So the opening, it seems standard. Magnus Carlsen, he plays the Trompovsky even on the world's biggest stages. Let's not forget that World Championship match where he played the Trompovsky in the first game. And for Alireza, he has never won a Champions Chess Tour event. Is today going to be the first? He'll have to play sturdy defense in this first game, David. I was going to ask you, do you break the pin with g5 if you are Alireza? He says no, he's playing this more solidly.
However, Robert, once the white king has committed to that flank, it looks like a bit of a sitting target, so pawn to g5, I think would be justified, but it depends on your mood. You do burn a lot of bridges. Firouzja staying flexible. Note how he's trying to provoke Magnus, bait Magnus into taking on f6, because that would only guide another black pawn towards the center, open up the semi-open g-file there, and Magnus wisely rejects that option. I've got to say, it's the Carlsbad structure. This pawn structure arises from a variety of openings: the Queen's Gambit declined, the Carrot Card defense. Magnus is pretty much playing a Queen's Gambit declined with reverse colors, but he is the world-leading expert, I'm going to say, in this pawn structure, at least in modern times. So I think a lot for him to be positive about. But pawn to h5, Robert, this is Firouzja at least hinting that he might attack.
He can at some point continue throwing pawns up the board, but not yet. That point is not now because the knight on f3. And look at Firouzja go. He has this triangle of pawns here with a bishop. They're all working together quite nicely. It's an odd formation. I haven't seen it very often, but a bishop on f5 helping these pawns. Everything is defended. So no holes in Black's position in terms of targets to attack, but maybe some holes in terms of squares, the dark squares. We've talked about this theme a lot today, that maybe White can use those to his advantage if he can keep his king safe and sound.
Yeah, the pyramid of power, that's what I call that pawn chain, Robert. Actually, Firouzja is one of the leading experts in the Caro-Kann defense, and in the exchange variation of the this is a really common pattern. You see this exact pawn structure for Black. You see the bishop planted on this f5 square, so he's using kind of all of that experience, pattern recognition from a different opening, and he's utilizing it here against Magnus Carlsen. So queen to d2, I think you're right, Magnus is going for the dark squares. Watch out for Magnus to play a move like queen to f4 even on the next turn, offering a queen trade, trying to gain that grip.
h6 ain't in the mix, and that's part of why black is in trouble. And here, I like your c5 move a ton. It doesn't give black the obvious response. It's trying to set up knight c6 check with some deadly force and trying to remove the guard of the queen on a5. So Magnus Carlsen, he's sitting and thinking, knight c6 check, probably winning for white, but he doesn't necessarily want to rush it, because if you start trading off too many pieces, maybe that gives black some faint hopes of survival. He goes for it. The evaluation bar, David, it really tanked quite a lot here, as black can scoop up this a6 pawn. We'll have even material.
Wow, it plummets. Magnus, he knows he was winning, or he knew he was winning, but he cashed in too soon. And now, Robert, this could be a turnaround. It could really turn. The black a-pawn's alive, the black knight off the rim, off the h6 square. It's back in the mix. And, okay, one more move. I was going to say, if the black king came across to b6 into c5, black would have been totally fine, but Magnus's pawn's still rolling. I think he's just about evaluated this correctly. He's aided by the fact Firouzja has no time, 7 seconds left, and the pawns are running. Rook to e6 looks so strong right now, but Magnus, he didn't find the most incisive way. I think nerves are kicking in, and most accidents happen nearer the finishing line. And okay, can we still see this turn knight to d4? Magnus now, how is he going to finish? Whoa, Robert, the sacrifice.
We reacted at the same time in the same way, giving up the rook, because this pawn will promote. That was sick stuff from Magnus Carlsen, because other moves would have given black some chances, and Magnus, he played the move the blue arrow indicated. Perfect stuff from him.
Perfect play, Magnus Carlsen, with a winning endgame now, but still how to push those pawns through. You don't want to get them blockaded on light squares. Don't allow the black king to come over. First he boots the black knight out of the center, and now how to keep pushing. I don't think black is threatening to take the pawn on c5. There will be a check with rook to e8. Magnus ticks under the 1 minute mark. King to f2. He's doing it the slow way. He's trying to be slow and sure about it, but now a check, Robert, and white's going to make a new queen.
There was really no stopping the win for Magnus Carlsen. Alireza plays a couple moves, but you can tell that look on his face. He can't believe what has happened, but the game is done. Magnus Carlsen wins the first game